Okay, hello and good morning everyone. My name is Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s, we're back at the forge again. Sorry, this thing's pretty loud. I gotta yell over it. I'm gonna be yelling over it for the most of stream. So, I'm gonna be making some hooks, specifically to be storing my blacksmithing tongs on the wall I got over there, my French cleat wall that we built a few streams back. So, I've already got the forge fired up. I'm heating up my metal. I have given myself quite a few cooling advantages today, simply due to the fact of it gets hot in here. Forge has only been on for 10 minutes or so, and I've already got, it's already 5 degrees warmer in the shop. So what I'm going to be starting off doing is I've got this piece of 3/8 square bar, and the first thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start putting it an octagon. I'm going to turn it from a square, I'm going to make it into an octagon. That's going to be step one. We're going to draw that material out. That drawn out material is going to make our hook. So, and then there's going to be this, there's going to be a lot of back and forth in this process. And also making micro adjustments to the forge. There's going to be a lot of micro adjustments to the forge. Just because I need to keep all that heat in that forge in order to get my metal up to as high temperature as I can get it. As you saw, that metal as it came out of there, that was orange hot. Malleable, but not ideal. In a perfect world, I could get that up to yellow heat. And if I got it up to a yellow heat, it would be much more malleable. Because your heat colors are cherry red, then you get to orange, then yellow, and then white hot. White hot is actually forging temperatures. I've yet to get this forge up to those temperatures. I actually think I need to upgrade my insulation, but I've used it a couple times before, and it's been great for the small projects that I've been working on. And a lot of these smaller projects that I've been doing, they're mostly just to dip my toes into the water, if you will, just to get a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more familiar with blacksmithing, because I'm outside my element here. But it's also fun to be outside your element, because that's how you grow as a person. You make yourself uncomfortable. So, we are reducing the diameter of our bar. It's probably not ideal that I have that wood block there, but that's just so that way I can also have that piece of metal right at where I want it as it's in the forge. Because I want that metal right at that blast, where that blast tube's going in. And that's kind of one of the limitations of this forge is I'm limited with one burner. That only gives me so many BTUs. But for an amateur hobbyist and a regular shop, it works. It works. It works. And for someone like me who doesn't have, well, I don't want to set up space outside for an actual, like, full-on setup. Where I could do, like, either, like coke forging or coal forging, or also with charcoal. Ooh, we're looking better. So the material, it will, as we draw it out, I will probably, I think I will want about 3-4 inches drawn out, and then that's going to cut, that's going to be the stub for the hook. And then once we get that drawn out and we get our hook to shape, we can then do a hot cut on this, where we'll cut the metal while it's hot on the hardy that's behind the wood block. Can't see it right now. And then we'll start shaping the other side, the flat side, because we're going to have a hook side and then we're going to have a flat side. The flat side is going to be what's going to hold the holes for the for the screws. Oh yeah. But yeah. Granted, I gotta say it, I could probably also run the forge up higher. I also got a tea kettle on the forge, and that tea kettle is going to be tea water for later. So, got real nice boiling water temperatures. I don't see steam coming out of it yet, so I'm not going to actually take it off until until I start seeing a little bit of steam come out of that tea kettle. Okay? Lost my wood block. But there's more where that came from. There's plenty where this came from. I have to be careful while I'm having fun. But yeah, so the metal's actually being reasonable. It's being reasonably It's playing nice with me so far, and I like that. I really like that. Not having to really fight it too much. It's heating up nicely, because we're now seeing a lot more, rather than like dull orange, we're getting into a brighter orange color. Really giving me an opportunity to actually really work that metal for a little bit before it goes back into the forge. So it gives me a little bit additional time between heats. good old fun. Granted, at some point I actually want to try making a couple of my own tools rather than just like hardware. I mean, like, making hardware is all fun and good. Like last blacksmithing stream, made this door handle. Still needs a lot of finishing work, but we're gonna put, eventually our hooks are gonna get a flat like this. Will be about like about an 1/8 thickness, and then that will be what we can actually drill, put holes in, and then we can actually have it, we can mount it to the wall, which will be real fun to actually have something that I made myself that holds these bad boys. Okay, I think that's enough for this heat. Then a little bit of flatten it out. Back in forge. And then it's lots of rinse repeats. But I'm pretty optimistic we can get the first one done in about an hour, hour 10. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. That's the goal, at least. Woo! Man, I just wish my forge was quieter, because this thing is really loud. But it's what I need to get that heat into my metal. Ah. That's what you get for messing with my glove. Woo! Okay. So, I think once we get this drawn out a little bit more, we'll be looking really good. Granted, I actually really like how this is making my arm feel right now. I've been doing a lot of wood splitting here recently, and I feel like that's really leveled up my arms a bit. But this is also going to help out a whole lot for that. Ooh. Okay, we'll see if that bit later works. Brandon, I'm actually surprised I'm not getting a lot of steam out of my kettle. I thought that sucker would have started boiling by now. Or else I'm not paying attention and all the water boiled out, but I doubt that. Hasn't been that long. Okie dokie. that material drawn out. Gonna get it really, really, really close to where I want it in terms of... Oh, hey, Haggle! Sugi! Yo, what up, my G? How are you? You having a good weekend? I gotta say, mine's been pretty good so far. I'm gonna be doing lots of sweating today. Both because of physical work and also heart work. I started some kvass. Nice! Oh man, that's a good weekend. I did a little bit. I got some firewood split yesterday morning. Got the lawn cut. Those fun things. My country wine's almost finished too. Nice! Oh, that's good to hear. You're gonna have to let us know how that turns out. Back in you go. Woo! But yeah, actually I also dry hopped my English golden ale that I made on Memorial Day. So, and I think I'll be ready to bottle that beer tomorrow. Or maybe this evening, I'm not sure. I really don't know how much time I'll have this evening. That's going to be a big... It depends. But I'll have that beer bottled. Old English 800 Golden Ale. Yeah, the English Golden Ale I made on Memorial Day. It's actually kind of my own recipe, sort of. Like I found a recipe online and then I tweaked it to make it a little bit more my speed. Okay. We'll get that material drawn out sooner or later. It's getting real close. It looks suspiciously like a hazy IPA. Oh, there's nothing wrong with a hazy IPA. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay. So while IPAs. Aww. IPAs are good. So. And also welcome into Tropa. I hope you're having a good weekend. As for me, I'm going to make some matcha tea. Because I don't drink matcha enough. Even if you don't like regular IPA hazy, it's like pineapple flavored or something, I don't know. Yeah. Depends on like how strong they make the hazy IPA, in my opinion. Did you know matcha leads to 600% muscle gain? Nope. That's new information to me. Granted, it also sounds like unverified information off the internet. Okay. And we're going to be using good gloves, because TKL is going to be hot. I saw it on the internet, so it must be true. Yeah. I saw it on the internet. Must be true. Granted, it's real fun to be able to use waste heat from the forge to make tea. It was in Japanese. Japan's very honest and would never lie. Yeah, that seems to check out. There we go. Matcha for later. I'm gonna let that simmer down. Well, get to a drinking temperature. Actually, wait a second. Does my magic thermometer work on you? So according to the magic thermometer, matcha's not that. Don't you gotta whisk it? Technically, yes. But I do it the lazy way. Because I'm lazy. That's just how I make matcha. Sometimes the matcha powder will form like a ball. But you know what? That's just matcha for later. That's actually the reason why I just poured a little bit of water, gave it a very vigorous stir, and then added the rest of my water. Might as well use regular green tea then. I mean, it'll end up on the bottom either way. I mean, yeah, but I haven't been drinking enough of that matcha powder, and I bought a new bag of gunpowder green tea the other day off Amazon. Holy smokes! Gunpowder green tea has really went up in cost. Gunpowder has gotten so much more expensive. I really could use more hooks. Me, I just have bark, and also I wanted to get one of these blacksmithing streams in before it got hot outside. Because once it gets hot outside, I won't be doing these streams for a while, because yeah, the shop's already at 88 degrees. I like my green tea with chemicals that are known in the state of California to cause cancer. I mean, I'm pretty sure matcha is a known carcinogen in the state of California. Granted, I'm pretty sure also the state of California would not like my shop. Is it? I don't know, but I would not be surprised. Like, because I know, like, cellulose. Because I'm pretty sure cellulose insulation is known in the state of California to cause cancer. I thought tea just absorbed heavy metals really well. Yeah, it does that too. Does that too. Well, I just discovered the joys of safety sandals. Good old safety sandals. Woo! But yeah, I think I'm going to give that one more heat, do a little bit more shaping to it, and then we'll use the hot cut. Apparently it's so good at absorbing heavy metals you can use it for water treatment. Neat. Well, cheers to heavy metals. Ooh. Oh man, that's good matcha though. It's good tea. Still needs to cool down more. Okay. So, I think we've got a pretty good amount of material drawn out for the hook. So I'm going to aim to do a hot cut right around there. So we'll do this next heat, and then we'll use our hardy here and we'll get it cut. What's your favorite heavy metal? Mine's probably cadmium or arsenic. Cadmium followed by lead. Oh gosh, man, what would, I'm trying to think of all the fun heavy metals. Like, what's something I actually have a reasonable amount of exposure to? I don't know. We'll just go ahead and just go with arsenic. Arsenic's always a good one. Oh gosh. Lead for sure. They didn't ban leaded gas until 1996. Cadmium is in art supplies and lead's just super useful. Oh, leaded. So, fun fact, leaded gas is still a thing for small airplanes. Like the airplanes that have actual like propellers on them, like small hobbyist aircraft. All those planes use leaded gas. And it's funny because we have like a small airfield that a lot of hobbyists use for those aircraft. And I just always think when I hear those planes flying by, I'm just thinking, oh man, leaded gas fumes, great. I'm just glad I don't live near that neighborhood. I live closer to the main airport. Okay. I think we're ready to do a hot cut. Let's do right about there. thinking about it. It's thinking. It hasn't made up its mind. Okay, that might actually work. We'll see how the day goes. But I've actually got a side project happening off to the side that I'll show you guys at the end of today. Woo! Oh man. This is really making me want to get like an outside setup, but also an outside setup takes up so much space. And I'd rather store firewood in that space. Firewood's more useful to me than a forge. Like I can cook on oh yeah, there we go. Able to work it. There we go. Separated. Huzzah. You should make a sweet little wine with tartare. I need to finish a demo before starting on a new forge. Let's see. Oh, hey, very hot thing. That's burning all the wooden objects. That might not be. Nope, that's not the right tool. Darn it, Sugi, use the right tool. You will have a better time with the right tool. But this is what's gonna make it fun now. It's gonna be having to. Alright, well, have fun. Well, you have a good rest of your day, Haggle. As for me, I need to consume cornucopious amounts of water. Because I can feel the sweat running down my legs. Ah, thank you, man. Feel free to have a couple beers. Woo! Man, this is gonna probably make my AC run a fair bit today. Oh, man. But yeah. Making a set of tongs more suited for forging smaller things could be a neat project. Yeah, that's a project I've got kind of on the docket. It's just, I'm still very new to this, so I'm starting off with like small hardware project stuff to get used to it, familiarize myself with it. Before I jump into, because I've heard making tongs is actually, it's not quite beginner level, but it's more of an intermediate project. Now granted, I do have a very handy dandy book that talks about how to go about that process. which is good because I'm a big fan of my books. Especially when I'm doing stuff I'm not very familiar with. Yeah, hooks are pretty simple and useful. Yep. Well, goodbye, hammer. I have option 2. And also at some point, I really need to, my wood block here, I need to actually carve it out so I can set the anvil in it. So that way the anvil doesn't rock as much. Because I've got a chain on it, and that helps, it works, but it's not ideal. Okay. So that's the beginning of a little flat plate. Also, I need to get more insulation for this forge at some point. I need more fire brick. There's never enough fire brick. Ooh, have you seen the new video? Seen the video from Mr. Chickadee where he makes one out of stone? No, I have not seen that, but that seems really cool. Making something like that out of stone. I mean, I very much consider myself very firmly on team woodworking, but it is fun to dabble in new stuff. It's not a new video. Oh, okay. But actually, you know what? I'll open up a new tab and have that for later. So we'll do that. Okay, cool. So I got his channel pulled up, so I can watch that later after stream. Probably when I'm having lunch. I'm trying to think what's my Sunday anime. Or if there is a Sunday anime. There's way too much anime. Sometimes I wonder if I spend too much time on anime and that eats into hobby time. Because hobby time's important. So, it's slowly getting thinner. I think we're doing well. Masonry is tricky. But you have to do the perfect way to do masonry tools for cheaper. Funny thing about that. Funny thing about that. At an estate sale once, I picked up these chisels. So that way, if I wanted to make tools for all this stuff, I already have tool steel that's roughly in the shape that I want it in. Like I did think about at one point making a hardy, but, well, hot cut. But nah, I just went ahead and I did the cheap and easy way. Well, no, the expensive, but easy. I have to be apart for VOD gang for today, but best of luck on the blacksmithing today. Oh, thank you, Ari. Don't worry about it. Because right now I'm just, honestly, just I'm just sweating. I'm sweating a lot. There's definitely going to be more of this in winter. It'll probably, yeah, winter would be, parties are easy enough to find. And I just honestly went to Etsy and bought one. Because whenever I go to like estate sales and stuff, I'm always like, I want to find like cool old tools. I like old tools. But I don't seem to get lucky. I don't seem to get lucky finding old tools. Like the last estate sale I went to, the guy was a golf guy. And it's like, cool that you had a hobby that you enjoyed spending your time. Yard sales can work better in most cases, yeah. I think also another aspect of it is I'm a suburbanite, and I really need to like go to like the actual estate sales that are like out in the country. I think I'll have a lot more success at those. But I don't know. I think it might also be living out in the country has more old tools. Yeah. Which that's one of the benefits of the country. Now for me, I literally live on the edge of where the city begins to turn into woodland. Shucks, funny enough, on the other side of my street, they're building a new subdivision right now. Which on one hand is kind of sad to see the trees go, but my fingers are crossed that it gets the deer out of my yard, because damn deer keep eating my hostas, and I don't like it. And I don't like it when my hostas get eaten. Don't mess with my hostas, man. I like my hostas. Also, I want to have enough of a healthy hosta population. Hostas are edible. Apparently, they're really good cooked in a bit of butter, especially when the leaves are just coming out of the ground. And I do want to try eating some hostas, but I first want to have a thriving hosta population. Well, that's not good. And that's most of the heat gone. Oy, oy. Also, if the deer go away, then hopefully I won't get ticks when I walk the front yard. Because I've gotten ticks last year. But so far, there's a solution to deer eating your plants, although it's frowned upon in suburbia. Exactly. Also, I don't have backstops. Well, if I were to take care of the deer, there's no good backstop for the projectile. Granted though, plenty of my neighbors fire guns in their yards, and I don't know what their backstop situation is. Because I do think it's the neighbors who essentially had woodland behind their homes. So I don't know if they're gonna continue to do their gun stuff. I don't know. I did hear a shot last night though. And I know, based off like the sound and how all that stuff went about, it is 100% just someone shooting guns for funsies. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's thin enough. So we'll heat it up and we'll start shaping it. Actually, what's the heat at my oil container? Okay. So the peanut oil is plenty hot. So once I get the hook shaped and all the fun stuff done with it. Oh, wait a second. Actually, do I want to do that? Oh, you're doing that style of hook. Yeah, where I have a plate that's going to get mounted to a piece of wood. Because I've got a French cleat wall, and I want to put all my blacksmithing tools on that wall. So I've got the cedar with a 45-degree bevel on it, and then I'll just cut out whatever length out of this piece I need, and then I can mount my hook to this, and then slip it on the French cleat wall, and then it's hung. But yeah, I'm not doing a, because I'm sure you're also thinking of the style of hooks where there's a spike on the back of the hook and you can just nail it straight into some timber. I mean, that's another strategy, which I thought about doing that for the tool shed, because you can mount a hook like that into a 2x4. Also, I still need to park more tools into that shed. I don't have time in my life. Damn, time is the greatest limiting factor. Yeah, that's the kind I use the most. Okay, so I think I can get that a little bit better in shape. But it's real close. And then I can just, because I want to kind of do a bit of a scoop in the hook, so that way it kind of holds the tool a little bit. But I'm also not sure how fancy I'll get. Now, if I get really froggy, I kind of would like to put my initials on it, since I have this set of stamps. Be nice little touch. Because also, speaking of like old tools, I always like it when I can see like maker's marks or a date, like anything that like identifies the tool. Like these tongs, for instance, they got nothing on them. No identifying information. Hammer. No identifying information. And I like it when old metal has information and can also kind of like, you know, tell a little bit more of a story. Let's see. Actually, that method probably won't work. Actually, that works. Cool. So, funny enough, I already have kind of a little bit of a valley in it. But I'll see what I can do to make it a little bit better. And then that'll be the first hook. Because I'm going to make a hook for each of my tongs I have. So I have this one, and then I have another one. And then depending on how the day goes, we might try... I've got some other smaller projects that I could work on. That would be nice to work on. Ooh, wait, that might work. Ooh, okay. Might be tricky, but that might work. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. If I could take my Hardy out easily, then I would have had an easy method, but we'll see how things go later. So, let's go ahead and go up to the horn. A few light taps. I may have lost my angle here. So, got a nice little swoop. But I kind of want to... I think I messed this angle up when I was putting that swoop in. Hey, you. Joys of working with hot metal. The things I do to expand my skill set. Now it's fun to expand the skill set, but it's also like jeepers creepers. It's serious work sometimes. But yeah, we're almost done with a hook. What's going on here? Witchcraft? Oh, hey, Krantatos. Hello and welcome in. But yeah, we're blacksmithing. We're taking metal and we're shaping it. So I'm heating up a small piece in the forge right now. So we started off with a section off this 3/8 bar. Shaped it. And eventually we're going to have a workpiece come out of this. Because I'm making hooks to store these tongs on the wall. I want to store these on the wall. Oh, yes, metal bending. Yes, we're metal bending. You know, the thing that, like, every other VTuber does? Like, VTubers love metal bending. So... Yep. That is the 90-degree angle restored. So that is one completed hook. Oh yeah. Oh wait, that's why it's dark. That's why it's dark. Okay, that gets a little bit more light. There's an amount of VTubers who do metalwork. Yeah, there's a... I mean, like, you do metalwork, Slab does metalwork. So, let's see. Well, how do I want to go about this? Do I want to... Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay. So, I've got some peanut oil on top of the forge. It's nice and warmed up. I'm gonna get this nice and hot, and then I'm gonna throw it into the peanut oil so I can put like a nice patina on it. And also, by quenching it, it will hopefully anneal a lot better than if I were to just let it air dry. Oh. Okay. This is exciting. So, tracking's gone. iPhone has decided to be like, it's way too hot. Which, yeah, actually, how hot is iPhone? Oh! So that's the temperature my iPhone's at right now. I think actually moving that garage door was a bad idea. But yeah, I've got a cooling rag, and I'm gonna re-put it in some water. I'm actually surprised GoPro's still going strong, because I actually have lost the GoPro doing a blacksmithing stream before. Woo! Oh man, fresh cool water. Feels great. Hopefully not Celsius. No, that's not. That's freedom units. That is sweet old freedom units. So, I do want to give you cool, clear water, yes. Because shop's at 93. So we're going to quench this in oil. And that hopefully should get me a nice patina on the hook. And since the oil, I think the can's at 300 because it was sitting on the forge, it will cool it down to 300, and then once I'm finished for the day and it cools down even more, that will help it cool slowly. Which is what we want. We want slow cool. Slow cool for soft metal. So now we start the process for hook number 2. to use my tongs. Now, so the iPhone is cooling down. It's got a little bit cooler. But it's still very warm. It's still very, very warm. Okay. It's time for tea. Now this time, I'm going to be making a breakfast tea. Because, you know, it's morning. Well, I've got 1 hour, I've got a little bit more than an hour left of AM. Get some tea leaves in there. Water in the kettle should be pretty good. 1 hour is good enough to enjoy some good tea. Yep. I also heated up the water with my kettle. I had the kettle sitting on the forge, and that's how I warmed up the water for today's tea. So I have both forged and brewed tea. Kind of. Sort of. I'll consider it forged tea. Just because it seemed like a funny idea. Granted, speaking of funny ideas, oh, that did not get us. That is not getting as cold as I wanted. Actually. Oh, that's pretty cold. Yeah, old school brewing techniques. Yes. Well, you know, it's no different than having a kettle on one of those kerosene heaters. It's just this is running at a bit higher temperature and produces lots of fumes, which is why the garage door is open. But I think I have sufficiently hot metal to start pounding metal. Once I can get gloves on. Gloves are on. Hammer in hand. Forge I will. Funny enough, the end of that bar is actually getting hot. Now, these guys were jumping on me because they were on the wood block. I'm going to set them off to the side so they don't jump off the wood block. I've already lost a hammer off my wood block. I don't want to lose any more things off the wood block. The wood block is very reasonably good at holding tools, but it's not a perfect solution. Granted, I do like having it, because a couple of times if like a small piece of metal falls off the anvil, it lands on the wood block rather than the floor. Because, like any reasonable human being, I'm running safety sandals today. Or at least that's what most VTubers do in shops. Because I know Slab wears safety sandals. Granted, I still remember that stream he did where he actually made steel toe sandals. And I'm kind of looking at this, I'm like, I got a forge, I got an anvil. Maybe I should make steel toe sandals and do a better job. It builds carriage. Exactly. It builds heat resistance. I mean, I've only had one ember strike me so far, so nothing terrible. Granted, I would like to get phone tracking back at some point. Ideally. It's funny that I've had the iPhone overheat during campfire streams, but it's funny. Ooh, wait, actually. Okay. I got an idea, but let's pound some iron. Granted, I gotta say, the metal is actually, woo! It's playing a lot nicer with me. Granted, I have less, I have less room. And honestly, these goat skin gloves have seen better days. But I will wring the ever-living life out of them before I throw them away. Because I don't throw away good gloves. I mean, they're still very good for stacking firewood. Plenty great for stacking firewood. Now, I'm going to do a thing. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a wet rag going. And I have a wet rag on the back of my GoPro. I'm going to add one to the iPhone. Hopefully that will be enough to bring it down in temperature so I can actually hopefully get model tracking back. Granted, I actually did commission an artist to make me a Fugi for PNG tubing. But they've yet to start the commission, so I'm still waiting on that. But that is a thing I will eventually have. Woo! Suki the Foogie. PNGs are pretty useful for streams where there's a lot of moving or where you need to wear PPE. Yes. Yes, very much. I have somehow managed to make my shenanigans work. But that's also like one of the fun things about doing this is it's like a puzzle. You gotta figure out how to do it. Because there's no one making tutorials on how to be a shop VTuber, you know? Yikes. Actually. Oh. Oh. Okay. So that's how hot the TV is right now. And I know what's going on. It's the radiant heat from the forge, because that opening is pointed right at the iPhone. So if I can block that, and I think I have the solution. So I have a metal solution. Maybe. Depends if I can slip it back here. Oh, I gotta go around cables. That's also another fun part about this. Cable management. Which is a pain in the butt. Oh. Okay. A little bit more. That should help. That should help the iPhone a lot, actually. So we've got a rag and a shield on it. And hopefully that will chill it down. Granted, speaking of not chilled things, I think I've got some hot iron I can pound. Granted, I am surprised that is actually. Ooh. That's also an idea for a project. I should make a branding iron. Yeah, I need to figure out how to make a branding iron for, like, to brand woodworking projects. That'd be fun. That's got to get added to the list. A touch mark could also be fun. All good ideas. Okay. How's iPhone? Okay, iPhone's still dead. That would be awesome, although imagine not as straightforward. Oh, it'll be a level up in difficulty. Like, I'm making hooks today because it's easy, you know? Like, I'm new. I'm not an expert at this. Also, I need to anchor the anvil a little bit better. But once I do that, that's also, well, gosh, thoughts. I like starting small and then building up. to being where I want to be. I like skill progression. Slowly building up my skills as I slowly climb the ladder of craft VTubing. Actually, I wonder if putting blue tape on the bottom would help. Actually, what would really help that from not moving is if I really wanted to, I could just grab some sandpaper. That would go a long way. Ooh. The iPhone's cooling down, slowly but surely. Granted, I'll also have to figure out an actual permanent solution. Because, man, that thing barely lasted an hour. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I want to check on that thing. I'm checking on my side project. But yes, the side project is doing well. And I'm looking forward to that. Because it is like the perfect thing after you've been like sweating your butt off around a hot forge. Woo! And always take time to enjoy tea. For tea is amazing and lovely. Because I like tea. Now, actually, I am going to take a look and see. Man, nothing too exciting. Nothing too exciting. Woo! But I will say this. My wrist is not hurting. Because I am trying to, when I'm using the hammer, I'm trying to let the weight of the hammer do the work versus trying to like force the hammer down. Yeah, that was a mistake I made last time. I was a little bit too forceful with my hammer blows in. Whew. I felt it. Like I think I felt it for like a couple of days after that stream. Hello, metal. So we're getting this pretty well drawn out. Got a fair bit of... Definitely want to thin it down some more. But it's moving in the right direction. Okay. Let's check up on iPhone. Wait, iPhone's reacting, but I think I have to unplug it. Captain Coco Puff, hope's all been well, dude. Glad to see you're still at the forge. Yeah, well, this is probably going to be the last time I'm going to be at the forge for a little while. Just because we're getting into the summer months, it's getting warm. Getting a little too warm for this. Because right now it's 95 in here. Yeah, it's hot as balls in here. I can't type this morning. Don't worry about that. Granted, my iPhone's definitely had better days. Oh. Ah. Okay. Oh, wait. Let me get it in my hand. Woo! iPhone's alive. Gordon, looks like you've been putting in work, looking good from the glimpse here. Yeah, those are the container potatoes I planted earlier. Yes, I'm not too late. I went on break early to catch more of the stream. Well, currently right now, I'm trying to get my iPhone to play nice. But it lives. It currently lives. However, though, the real question is, will VTube Studio play nice with me? That's the real answer. Oh. Looking okay. Just put ice on it. I've got a wet rag on it. Ice, I think, would be a little... Oh. Yay, we're back. Re-wet the rag. Give GoPro a little bit of water. And there we go. And hopefully I don't fry it. But we're back. Ah, yes. Not quite ready yet to go to the static world of unmovement. I like being dynamic. Well, I like moving. I also like spending my mornings being productive, and this has definitely been a productive morning. So this is more than sufficiently hot. I got 2 instances of safety sandals. Oh. But honestly, safety sandals are part of the fun. Makes you watch, make sure you don't, it is, safety sandals are the #1 thing that's going to keep you from dropping a tool on your toes. Is being aware of safety sandals. Those are OSHA approved. This isn't a workplace, sorry. Safety sandals and safety squats. Yes. Yeah, well. A piece of metal hitting my foot is going to make a burn wound. If a piece of metal hits my eye, that's very big bad. Because then I can't, well, if I lose an eye, then I can't drive anymore. Because I'll lose depth perception. So, eye safety I will take seriously. Like, I'll take some risk, but I won't take all the risk. I think we've got enough hook. I think we're ready to get ready to do a hot cut. Bah humbug, you gain depth perception back eventually. Sure. Japan's working on growing more teeth. Maybe they can grow new eyes too while they're at it. Oh dear. Oh dear. Ah. I want to keep my eyes. Well, actually, one of my eyes is a lazy eye. But I do want to keep my eyes. Even if losing an eye could get me back my vision. Like, I'd rather just stick to having the eyes I was born with. Because that's the best for me. I don't know, I'm attached. Like, I've had these eyes for 36 years, you know? I don't have one lazy eye, all of me is lazy. Oh, you're not that lazy. I mean, you're working. How did the storage shed you were building turn out? Shit got hectic for me around that time. I haven't caught a stream since then. Oh, don't worry about it. Actually, that storage shed is right there. So there's forage, there's storage shed, and then there's potatoes. But yeah, I actually don't think I've actually shared any images of like the inside. But maybe next stream, I'll take some photos. I'm still not 100% done moving tools into the storage shed, but it's there, it's built, it has given me room, like, so literally behind the forge is like my blacksmithing corner. Yo, that looks really good from what I can see. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Doing the shingles was a little bit rough, because it was my first time shingling a roof. But that was like the hardest part. Okay. Let's try hot cutting this. Get our spot. Be close enough. And a wiggle. And a wiggle. And And a wiggle, 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 and we're free. And there we go. Our piece is free. Oh yeah, you'll probably find this cool. Andrew was working on welding a new idler yesterday. I think he said it was stick welding. I've actually never gotten a chance to get into welding. I definitely want to. That's definitely a try, but it's also the thing with welding. You need a welder, and then you need a place to put the welder. And I'm already kind of tight on room, so I'm not. Welding seems fun, but next stream we'll get you a welder and the funny helmet. If you want to stick weld, you just need a car battery and some jumper cables. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. My hammer lost its wedge. Another shed, what's the problem? There's such a thing as too many sheds. Like, I have a tool shed and 2 wood sheds. Let's back up. Really glad I have a maintenance hammer. When doing work, always have a maintenance hammer. That should keep me from having surprises. Because Sundays are bad days for surprises. Well, unsafe surprises. Because I don't want the head of this to fly off. Because then, whoo, that will be a problem. Okay, let's flatten this. Okay. I see you have a bit of a personality. Yep. Remember, chat. If something seems like a dumb idea when you're doing it, chances are it's probably a dumb idea. Which, holding it with the tongs like that was firmly in bad idea territory. Firmly in bad idea territory. Oh no, the tea is done. I don't have tea. At least you weren't holding it with wooden tongs. Hey, look, a crafting project idea. Wooden tongs for blacksmithing. The inverse, if it seems stupid but works, then it's not stupid. Yes. That is also true, Tropa. So, it's very warm. Oh, wow. It's 98 degrees in here. I could definitely go for a cold one. Now, this is a NA because we're still not in the PM yet. We're getting close to PM, though. And we're not quite fully in the PMs just yet, so no alcohol. I got like 23 minutes. Now, I'm sure there's some of you who are like, well, that's no fun. But there's also such a thing as too much fun. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I can still never get over non-alcoholic beer. Who drinks it for the flavor? Me. I like beer. Beer's good. Beer's good. Beer's tasty. And stuff. Stunning it down. You know, being a VTuber isn't weird, but drinking beer for the flavor is 100%. No, that's not how the world works. Beer for drinking. There's a reason why Prohibition failed. And it failed because beer was too powerful. Also, Americans just like alcohol a lot. But I also do like alcohol myself too, so. But I also wish to be responsible, because I was reasonably responsible this weekend because, as I'm sure some of you from like last weekend remember, I have more energy today. I have zero hangover, which is great. Zero hangover is best. It's the best amount of hangover. Shiny. But yeah. Whoa. Uh-oh. Did we look? Oh, okay, that's a fun. The computer now does not recognize the iPhone. So we have lost tracking again. Forges just have to make everything hard, don't they? GG. How did you freeze in 98 degrees? Man, I wish I knew. Let's see. I gotta head back to work, but don't burn yourself and have fun. Oh. You have a great day at work. And I will definitely have fun. Connected. Oh. Microsoft no longer recognizes it. Ah. Let's see. Okay, one last comment before I dip. Would you ever do commissions? I don't have a blacksmithing set up, and it would be dope to buy hooks or some shit. At this point in time, I probably won't do commissions. Now, later on this year, I will consider it. I will consider it later this year. also have to be simple stuff because I'm still very new to blacksmithing. Granted, I love how my wet towel just keeps drying out. It's like granted, it's actually been doing a good job taking the edge off the heat. Ah, come on. Open. Up. And wait. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if rebooting the iPhone brings back tracking. If it brings back tracking, wonderful. If not, well, shogunai. Also, my metal's probably more than hot enough for me to pound. So, but I'm not getting any error messages just yet. Woo. Oh. So, I think that's a good material thickness there. I think I want to do I think what we should do is put a little dip at the end of the hook. And we'll go from there. Okay, computer. Have you decided to like the iPhone? Granted, I don't know. What's iPhone doing? Okay. Looks like iPhone does not want to run VTube Studio. I might be deeply meditative Sugi for the rest of the stream. I think that's what's going to go down. We're going to be meditative. Because that's about as much as I want to fuss with that. Hot metal. Come back around, Mike. Such is life, yeah. Well, the things you gotta do to have fun stuff, you know? And besides, I'd rather be a fun weirdo than a normal weirdo any day. Okay. So I think for this one, we're just going to have like a little bit of hook to it. just something to sort of help hold the tool, and we'll honestly just live with it. I just let the project turn out how the project turns out. Plus, this has been quite a bit of heat to deal with, and I'm starting to get tired of it. And I don't want to spend all day here. But once we get this done, I have an S hook. Kind of see it a little bit better. I need to open up one of these sides a bit more because it does not fit on my campfire's like top pole thing. So I need to open up one of these guys, and that's going to be something I want to get done because I want to be able to throw up the Dutch oven and also like hang other things over the fire when I do campfire cooking streams. But that's still going to be another issue as we move into the summer months. Is like heat's going to impact this, and heat's also going to impact spending time out there. So going through June, getting into later June, July, and then August, I'm going to probably be spending a lot more time in my shop. Now the question is, bent that the wrong way. Not paying attention. Too busy thinking about that sweet, sweet finish line. And also looking forward to seeing how the side project turns out. Because I sure do love taking physics and getting everything I can get out of physics, which is what the part of what the side project is. But I gotta say, I'm actually very happy with how the forge has performed today. Normally it's not like, well, I don't know, after I like kind of bump the insulation a little bit and stuff, it's been better. I really I need to get more fire brick, because I want to replace this brick with something thicker so it makes my cavity smaller, and that way I'm putting more heat into a smaller area, and that'll raise the heat, because I've been mostly getting like orange heats today, not too many yellows, but that's also because I haven't fully ran my regulator up. Woo! So, that's a hook. That's a hook. Then I almost thought about touching for a second. So, we're gonna chuck it in here. And then we're gonna get it nice and hot for the quench. This fun part. But yeah, this was a good day. This was a really good day. Granted, actually I do have one problem. I gotta figure out what I want to do for lunch. I've got a lot of spinach in the refrigerator, so I'm really leaning towards maybe a salad. Salad seems really good. I had pizza for dinner last night, so I think salad might be the way to go. And then I had a sandwich for breakfast because I still had some bread left over from the 2-year anniversary stream. Actually, I'm a little bit curious. How do you look? Oh yeah, that looks nice. Also, I really like how I can tell the oil's very hot just by the viscosity of the oil. The peanut oil has gotten so much more viscous because the can's been sitting on the top of the forge, which... Oh, that's not hot at all. No, that's not hot for oil at all. Yeah, that's nothing. Okay. I think we have some hot metal. Quench. And then that goes back on top of the forge. Because since I just want to open up that S-hook, I really don't think I shouldn't really need to get it in there very much, because I just need to get it warm enough for that metal to soften up. And then once the metal softens up, I can get that done. And then that hook will actually be useful to me. Which is really the best thing, is like making it useful. Because it sucks to make something and then it turns out to not be useful. But yeah. Shucks. And shucks, if I wasn't doing this, I would have probably played with a chainsaw this morning. I've still got a lot, because I gotta start dicing up some firewood. Because I was really hoping to get more of the firewood, more of the logs processed, just so that way I can get my Corolla in the driveway again, because I don't want it to be in the grass forever. Okay. Got my still need to get mine running. And then I've got my bar over here and my hook now hooks on my bar. Actually, I'm gonna actually drop that into the oil. So that way I can get it, because I would really like to get like a protective coating of fat on it, so it won't rust as much, because that thing is going to get exposed to a whole bunch of fire and smoke and soot hanging out over the campfire. But yeah, I'm wanting to get a wood-burning fireplace insert for my home because I have a gas fireplace now, and I want to switch it over to wood so that way I can actually get like some heating in the home. And I really want to get my firewood all split up this month so it can really dry out during the hot summer months. Also, I just don't want to split firewood when it's hot outside. That's like the biggest thing. It's like I don't want to split firewood when it's hot outside, because once it starts getting like 80 degrees outside and up is a little warm for firewood splitting. Firewood splitting is best done when it's like cooler outside, and the temperatures only go up from here, unfortunately. But I think after next week, the temperatures will get a lot more reasonable. Like, we'll have some like lows in the 60s again. So I'm actually really looking forward to that, because that'll be some good weather to get this taken care of. Because I've got about half my woodshed filled with firewood right now, so I got to deal with the other half. And all at once. There we go. And with that, I can turn my forge off. Oh gosh, oh man. It feels so nice to be able to hear myself think again. Because I think I do have like noise gate set up reasonably enough for it not to fully pick up the forge, but whew, it's just really loud in the shop, and that's actually kind of something I'm hoping better insulation for the forge will help me out on, is maybe making it quieter. I don't anticipate that, but it would be nice. It would be really nice. So, I've been talking about my side project. So, after the last blacksmithing stream, there are definite perks to coal forges. Yes, but for a coal forge, I need space out there, and I've got so much space dedicated to garden and wood stuff, and I just don't have enough backyard. If I had more backyard, I might be able to like carve out a space. I mean, if I wanted to get ambitious, I probably could do it, but it would be a squeeze, and unfortunately, I like to be able to have tree companies back down my driveway and just dump either a load of logs for firewood or a load of wood chips for gardening. So I have everything that I do out there, I have to keep that like access in mind. Now, last blacksmithing stream, I ran this forge for like about 2 hours, and in the process, I noticed something after the stream. My propane tank had a coating of frost all the way around the tank. And I was like, weird. And then I thought about it and I realized something. As the forge is running, the pressure in the tank drops. So the liquid propane, as the liquid propane goes from a liquid to a gas, it boils. And when it boils, it creates cooling. So for today, I don't think you can't see the bottle, but I submerged the tank in a Tupperware bin with water for one purpose. To use the waste cooling from the forge to chill my beer. And now this isn't like cold, but it actually feels reasonably cold. So we're gonna end this, because, you know, like, I took advantage of waste heat to make tea. I'm gonna take advantage of waste cooling to chill beer. $5D chest. Hey, I'm just a guy who likes taking advantage of physics. That's all it comes down to. So this is actually a Kolsch that I brewed roughly a month ago. I tried one bottle on Wednesday, and it wasn't quite bottled condition enough. So I'm gonna try it out today. Oh, yes. Oh, man. Perfect Kolsch weather. Shucks. It is. Yeah, my thermostat is reading. Actually, I can grab it. But yeah, this is... Ah! Wait, do you light up? I think you light up. No, I don't want to go into the wireless setup. I don't care. Exit. I thought you backlit. And then the batteries died. And then the batteries died. Darn. Okay, it's now changed its mind too. It says 98. But it was reading 99 earlier, so cold beer is much appreciated. Tremendously appreciated. Now, it's not... Now, granted, I didn't get this as cold as I could have gotten it. I suppose if I actually wanted to, like, perfect this method, I would need to use less water. So that way more... Because the water would also, like, really dissipate the cooling, but... And I'm also sure the shop being in the 90s was also probably pulling away a fair amount of heat from the cold water. But yeah, I can now say I've used my forge to chill my beer. So today has been a really good day, because I have now been able to do a thing that will confuse a great deal. Well, it will confuse people. People will be like, what the hell, Sugi? What were you thinking? And it's like, I was thinking about utilizing all my resources as efficiently as I can. Now, will I ever be able to fully utilize my time efficiently? That remains to be seen. Not too good at that. That's definitely a thing I really need to improve upon. But, like everything else in this shop, it's a work in... Myself in this shop are equal parts works in progress. And good morning, Kiwi. Actually, technically, it's good afternoon here. Oof, afternoon now, yeah. But yeah, so I've had a really good day today. Been actually, so funny thing I've done is I have used waste cooling from my forge to chill my beer. And I'm now enjoying chilled beer because my shop is in the upper 90s right now. Because, holy smokes, the forge puts out heat. Wait. Interesting idea. Yeah. Because, in an earlier stream, my propane tank had a layer of frost around it because of the liquid propane boiling from a liquid to a gas, because the pressure was dropping because the forge was pulling so much fuel. So I took advantage of that to chill beer. And I also think that would just make... And also for later, it'll make for a great clip. And also, speaking of, like, things in today, my wrist does not hurt at the end of the day. Which... last blacksmithing stream, I really felt it in my wrist. So, did reasonably good. Protected my hands with gloves. I'm so tired, I thought you said liquid nitrogen. Oh man, that would be... Oh, shucks, that'd be a great way to chill beer. Man, that would actually be a fun stream. Like, how many different ways can I come up with to chill beer? I need to actually do that before... okay, those got hot. I need to do... If I can refine that idea, I need to get that executed before the slab man does it, because he might do that at some point. Okay. But... I have forged today storage hooks. Slav man who? Ool's Lab. He is a mad scientist VTuber who you would actually appreciate this, Kiwi. He is very proudly Ohioan, and he really owns the fact he's from Ohio, and I really like him in his stuff. But yeah, so I've got 2 of these hooks that I've forged out of 3/8 rod. Ew. I know we're talking about Ohio now. I mean, as an individual from a state that borders Ohio, I do feel you, Atropa. Cause I'm in Kentucky, so that's my culture. But yeah, Kiwi's from Ohio. But Ohio is definitely the dark, spooky place of the U.S. Where if people are visiting the U.S., we just need to be like, I know, PA. The incredible birding. Watch your words, Sugi. The things of being way too close to the scary, spooky lands of Ohio. Granted, I mean, I will say this, like, I will rag, but I'll also say, Ohio does have good beer there. So many people from Ohio become astronauts so they can get as far away from the state as possible. Yeah, we already have flying cars. But yeah, like, I'm a big fan of Rheingeist Brewing. Great Lakes Brewing Company. Yeah, Great Lakes, Great Lakes Brewing Company makes really good beer. When you think of, like, shucks, Platform made really good beer, but then they got bought by InBev. Yeah, you wouldn't have planes without us. Actually, we probably would have actually still got planes, but I do like the fact that the Wright brothers were bicycle people, and it just shows that bicycle mechanics are some of the most inventive mechanics. Without people trying to get as far away from Ohio as possible. The things people gotta do to escape Ohio. I don't blame them. Granted, guess, but I occasionally visit. Granted, most of my visitation is going through Ohio because I have friends in the Michigan. Well, no, I don't have friends in Michigan. I have family in Michigan. I have Michigan family. And I have to drive through Ohio to get to them. Ew, Michigan. Arch enemies. Well, that might be that way for you, but nah, I've got family there. I got people I like there. Granted, Michigan is also definitely like... Actually, I still need to go to Mackinac Island. Because I have... Why everyone hating on us? Because it's funny meme. Trolls or youpers? Wait, like in the trolls or youpers, is that like referring to where in Michigan? Because my family's based out of Detroit. And shucks, I haven't seen him in a while too. I actually need to give my uncle a call because it's been a while since I talked to him. Trolls because they live below the bridge. Oh no. But yeah, granted, I had an uncle, funny enough, like, one day he came home from school, and his mom, my grandma, looked at him and was like, "Hey son, pack your bags, we're leaving for a trip." And he was just like, "Oh, okay," and packed his bags for a couple days to go on a trip. And my grandma, grandpa, and him, my uncle, went to Mackinac Island. Didn't even say anything to my... They didn't say anything to their son, my uncle, about where they're going. They're just like, "Son, pack your bags. We're going on a trip." And they took him on a trip to Mackinac Island. Which I want to go because it is one of the few places in America that is not cursed by cars. But that's... Well, good for him. So I think the biggest reason they did that is because he was their youngest son. Well, youngest child. They had 4 kids. And I think they just wanted to do something nice for him. Because he's always been the youngest. He's always gotten, like, the hand-me-downs from everyone else. It is cursed by expensive fudge, though. Well, good to know that there's expensive fudge. I mean, I know it's, like, fairly touristy, but I'm sure it's got to be better than the Gatlinburg, which, like, here in Kentucky, there's, like, 2 places people like to go to vacation. One is Gatlinburg. The second is Myrtle Beach, which I haven't been to any of those places. I actually haven't done a whole lot of traveling, simply because I've been throwing most of my discretionary income at my house. And once I get the wood-burning fireplace insert, I'll be pretty much done throwing money at my house. Nah, Myrtle. I mean, I think I've had friends go there. Bowling Green was interesting when I went there. Yeah, Bowling Green's actually a pretty nice city. Corvette Museum. Ah, okay. I actually haven't been to the Corvette Museum. But I've been to Bowling Green a couple times. My sister, she went to WKU there. Guys, stop naming places near me. I'm scared. Well, sorry, Kiwi. You live in America. I live in America. Tropa lives in America. We're all Americans here. You all need to know. But yeah, Bowling Green's a pretty cool place. Shucks. I have mixed feelings about the words I'm about to say. But I kind of do want to go back to Nashville. Because my sister actually, after graduating college, moved at Bowling Green, went to Nashville and lived there for a little while. Like 5-6 years, whatever. And Nashville's got some pretty good beer. I really like the beer I could get in Nashville. And also, Nashville is a pretty alright city to, like, bike around. Because that's what me and my... I'm gonna do some cooking, so bye. Okay, Kiwi, you enjoy your food, because I'm actually about to wrap up and, like, go cook some food myself. Well, I'm probably not gonna cook food. I'm probably gonna throw together a salad. I had a cousin live there for a while trying to make it as a musician. Oof. That sounds rough. My sister, on the other hand, she was merely following the man she married. Because that's where he lived. And now they actually live back in my city of Louisville, Kentucky. So, granted, when they first moved to Louisville, they lived close to me, like 10 minutes. And now they live a half hour away, and now I see them, like, probably once a month. Granted, we're actually going to be going to a Renaissance fair here soon, in, like, I think 2 weeks. So, I'll be able to see them then, which will be nice. And it'll also be fun to just go to the Ren Fair and walk around and see all the cool stuff. Who knows? Maybe. Well, they actually do have a pretty neat blacksmithing area set up. And I will totally go to the blacksmithing area just to, like, look for, like, project ideas. Because I do like me some project ideas. Ren Fair, what the F? Well, yeah, Captain Cocoa Puff. I'm a nerd. That's the things. That's one of the things that the nerds do when they want to touch grass. Shucks. It has been so long since I've been to an anime convention. When was my last anime convention? I mean, I went to MagFest in 2020, but that wasn't an anime convention. That was MagFest. But MagFest was like... Granted, I did also, like, last year I went to Midwest Gaming Classic, but that Midwest Gaming Classic's kind of more of like a gaming dedicated thing. Whereas, like, I guess MagFest is just this kind of own weird animal. Oh, I was at 2020 MagFest. Man, what a great time that was. Like, little did we all know, things were about to change a whole lot in about 3 months. But 2020 MagFest was that. So the friend group I went with to that MagFest, that was the last time they went. And apparently MagFest has done some of the management's done some weird stuff and things like that, and they haven't wanted to go back. Granted, I think they do want to go back at some... Oh, wait, yeah, that's what... Okay, yeah, I remembered why... Okay, now I've remembered why they don't want to go to MagFest for a while, and that's because they want to avoid DC for a while, which I fully understand that. Yeah, that's why. Okay. That was the thought. Okay. But yeah, I do eventually want to go back to MagFest. It was a neat thing. I had fun there. And also just like Alexandria, Virginia was a pretty cool area too. No, wait. Did I do much No, I actually didn't do any like really like beer tourism type stuff there. I think there was like one like brew pub near the convention center, like a walks from the convention center. Me and my friends went to, and I did get myself a big Bavarian pretzel with beer cheese, which Bavarian pretzel with beer cheese is always good, always delicious, always a fun time. But I didn't think I actually went to, I think that place closed. Ah, no, not the Bavarian pretzels. I love the Bavarian pretzels. I love pretzels and beer cheese is just like so powerful. Like if I go to like the grocery store and I'm like, okay, Sugi, something has happened in the past week that was really, really good. I want to treat myself. I'll get some beer cheese and pretzels. And then that's like a treat snack for myself. Unless I'm getting it mixed up with another place. And I'm sure I probably will find out whenever I eventually go back to MagFest. Which will happen at some point. I just don't know when. Granted, I don't even know if I will ever... I don't know if I actually will ever go back to an anime convention again. Actually, there's one... Okay, so there's actually one reason why I would go to an anime convention nowadays, and that is if there was a music act I wanted to see at that convention. That's what would get me to go. Like... Oh, shucks. Like, I still remember AWOL in 2013 when they got Zun as a guest. And there was just Toho fans everywhere. There was Toho everything everywhere. It was amazing. I had so much fun. I would definitely go back to an anime convention too if Zun comes back. But there's no telling when that's going to happen. Because since then, he was kind of briefly at AX. He kind of just like showed up and was just like kind of hanging around at AX. But past that, he hasn't been back to the States since then, so I would really like it if he came back. You know what? Hell's bells. If he goes back to AWOL again, then I'll totally go back to AWOL. Okay, I think that's enough rambling. My shop is slowly getting back to normal temperatures. And I would like to say to everyone who showed up today, thank you very much for tuning in. Had a really fun day. It was really nice to actually get the projects quenched in oil. Hopefully that should make a really nice patina on them and give them a nice coating, because for the projects I have not done that with, like these handles, they're kind of chippy, a little bit rusty to them, but that's fine. Just part of that homemade charm, I guess. Well, actually, no, it is actually a good thing, because it's part of that homemade charm. I will probably have a schedule out later today for next week. Next week will be light on streams because I'm on call and it's going to be hot and I'm probably going to be working a lot. But hey, I also did purchase a bench grinder yesterday, so I got to earn money. Well, I actually don't have to earn money for it because I already had the money saved up for it. But I'm going to be probably working a lot over the next couple weeks, so streams might be a little bit light. But I do want to kind of like aim for slightly longer streams. So one of them will actually be working on a stand for my drill press. Because right now, my drill press is on a flip tool stand, which is fine temporarily. But the drill press is far too heavy for it to actually function as a flip tool stand. So I need to give it a home. So we're going to work on giving it a home next week. And that's going to be like the main project stream. So I'd just like to go ahead and wrap up today by saying, my name is Sugiyawa Ngawa. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in today. And have a great rest of your Sunday and a great start to your week. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.